Warning, the following video will contain content that is not appropriate for children. Viewer discretion is advised.
Welcome back, bitches, for another one of my Pokemon Battle Revolution discussion battles. Fuck yeah. Alright, so getting things started here today. Hopefully I will kick some fucking ass or die trying, whatever the hell happens first. Either way, should be interesting. So, I do want to clear up something that I said during the last session of Pokemon Battle Revolution discussion battles that I did last week. I did want to clear something up, because during one of those discussion battles, I said some things about one of the managers at my workplace, and I do just want to clear up a couple things that I said. I still mostly stand by what I said, to be honest, in that video. I say what I mean, you know? I don't pull my punches, and if you don't like it, you can kiss my ass, you know? That's just how I am, you know? I speak my mind. Well, at least on this YouTube channel. Usually in real life, I don't speak my mind as much, because I feel like a lot of people would hate me a lot more if I actually spoke my mind. I don't see the need to cause unnecessary problems. That's why usually if I have nothing nice to say, I just keep it to myself, you know? And I think that's a good way of going about things. Helps keep the peace. And I don't think that's, you know, a wrong thing to do necessarily. It may be slightly dishonest, but I don't necessarily think it's the wrong thing to do. But either way, I was talking about the general manager and just my frustrations with how things have been going at my workplace lately. And I wanted to clear up a couple things. During that video, I said that she is a failure as a general manager, and I would like to revise that statement a bit. I think that within certain aspects of her being a general manager, she is a failure. Keep in mind, I'm a host at a restaurant, okay? Just to put things in perspective. So I feel like with certain aspects of being a general manager, she does not succeed very well. I will explain where she does succeed very well and where she does not succeed very well, where I think she has failed as a general manager. I think as far as the day-to-day minutia of actually running the restaurant, you know, dealing with, you know, customer complaints, customer service, as far as, like, actually doing the, you know, day-to-day minutia of running the place, you know, again, like the, you know, occasionally helping out and shit, I feel like she does an excellent job. I feel like she does an excellent job in that regard. Way better than I ever could, admittedly. You know? Granted, I also said during that session that I think that I could run the place a lot better than she can, and I'll explain that later. But as far as, like, actually dealing with customers and shit, as far as that part of the job goes, she does a way better job than I ever could. Because I am not a people person. Social anxiety is something that I have struggled with my entire life, for as long as I can remember. I've just not been good at dealing with people for whatever fucking reason. You know, it's a little bit different where I'm doing something like this on YouTube where nobody knows who I am. You know, none of you actually know my true identity. Well, actually, technically you do, because I've said my name before, but none of you, like, actually know me in real life. So I feel like that kind of helps, you know, the anonymity factor, plus the fact that none of you actually, like, see my physical body or any of that shit. None of you actually see me. You know, it's just video game footage, right? That's how I do things. So I feel like those two factors kind of help me out here on this YouTube thing, and which is why I actually kind of enjoy doing this kind of thing. This is how I prefer to interact with people, is through YouTube, you know? I love doing this shit for you guys. It's awesome. You know? So anyway, back to the topic at hand. Our general manager does an excellent job with dealing with customers. She is excellent at that. Absolutely excellent. Cannot say enough good things about her in that regard. She also is a hard worker, legitimately. You know, she'll, you know, if we need help with stuff or whatever, if it's, like, super backed up in the kitchen, you know, she'll roll up her sleeves, she'll help put food together. Again, I may have left you guys with the impression, I feel like, after the last rant battle session, that I think that this manager is just a total piece of shit, and that is not true. Which is why, again, I wanted to do this to clear things up. Because I may have made the impression that, you know, this manager is just a complete piece of shit. And that is 100% not true. Which is, again, why I wanted to do this video more for myself than anything. Just to kind of clear things up. Because, again, I feel like I may have left you guys with the wrong impression. So I wanted to set the record straight again. But, you know, she is legitimately a hard worker. You know, she'll roll up her sleeves and help us out. You know, she does a great job with a lot of things. You know, and again, like I even said this during that last session, you know, she is not a bad person by any means. I think she is a great person. I have said that before in the past as well about this particular manager. I think she is a great person. You know, I think overall she is a somewhat reasonable person to deal with. You know? So when it comes to like the day-to-day minutia of actually running the restaurant, I feel like she does an excellent job, especially in the areas of customer service and just basic work. I feel like she does a great job. Where she fails, in my opinion, is more so on the logistical side of running the restaurant. Not necessarily just the day-to-day minutia, but rather the logistical business side of running the restaurant, I think, is where she fails. And the reason being for that is that it seems like we always have supply issues. Kind of like I was talking about last time when she, you know, kind of launched a personal attack against me in dealing with the company pens, because our company pens are fucking terrible. They're just terrible pens. They're cheap, they're garbage. They're absolute motherfucking garbage. You know? Which is why I was, you know, throwing them away. Because they suck. You know, so as far as, like, you know, again, the business side, supply chains, personnel management, shit like that. That is where she fails as a general manager, in my opinion. On that particular side. Because I've been saying for literally months now, I've been like, maybe we should, I don't know, hire some more hosts, because I'm working like at minimum 6 days a week these days, you know, which I kind of need some time off every once in a while, otherwise I become homicidal. You know, that tends to happen sometimes. Like today, for example, is my 1 day off this week, and I guarantee you someone's going to want to, you know, call off and want me to cover their shift, of course, because that literally always fucking happens. Almost always fucking happens. And I've been telling her, you know, I've been saying, I'm like, why don't we fucking hire somebody? Because, you know, if anyone needs a shift covered, like, God forbid, if I had an emergency and I needed a shift covered, there would be no one who could cover it. You know, like, if my mom suddenly has a heart attack and I have to go to the emergency room or something, you know, like, that's something that I have to do. You know, I'm not going into work if my mom's in the fucking ER, you know, with potential brain damage. You know, like, I need to be there for that, you know? And what am I supposed to do to get my shift covered if we don't have enough people, you know, if we aren't properly staffed to the point where someone could cover my shift in the event of an emergency? And, you know, worst case scenario, I don't show up for my shift, but then it screws over my coworkers because then they're short-staffed. Then that's not fair to them. You know? Again, this is basic common sense logistics of running a business. You know, you need to have the proper staff in order to get the job done. And you also need to have a contingency plan. You always need to have a backup plan. Every fucking time you need to have a contingency plan. You need to have a safety net. You know, even like with me, you know, I've had a plan to move out on my own. But before I do that, I'm going to continue to live at my dad's house, continue to build up my bank account, continue to maybe build up my credit once I get a credit card, which I actually still need to do, which I probably actually should do soon. But, you know, that's why I want to stay at my dad's house for a while, build up my bank account. That way when I do move out on my own, if God forbid something happens, I have a cash safety net to fall back on. That's what I'm saying. In any given situation, you always have to have a backup plan. Every time. It is very not intelligent, extremely unintelligent to go into any situation without a backup plan. Or without being able to come up with a backup plan pretty goddamn quick. Because sometimes you do have to think on your feet. You know? So that's why I've been saying for a while, like, maybe we should hire people. And, like, literally 2.5 weeks ago, I had a kid apply who literally worked there before, you know, who has experience working at that particular place, at our particular place. So he's got experience with how the system works there. And they've done nothing. Just a couple of days ago, I heard from one of my other coworkers that the GM finally reached out to this person after 2 goddamn weeks. Why the hell wouldn't you do it right then and there? Right when they handed in the application, I would have been all over it. I would have been like, hey, you got some free time. Let's talk right now, man. You just handed in this application. You want to come back to work here? Yeah, let's talk. Right then and there, I would have done that. Or at least at a minimum, the day after. I would have called this kid up and been like, hey, man, let's have you come in, let's chat, and let's get you going, you know? Why are we not fucking doing that? Like, fucking really? And then I also heard from that same coworker, again, I tend to not put too much stock into what other people say, but I do kind of believe this. Because I kind of trust this coworker. I don't think she would, you know, bullshit to me. She told me that she had a discussion about hiring this person back with the general manager, you know, herself. And the general manager's reason for not wanting to hire this particular individual back was because, oh, well, they've already worked here before, and when we hire people back, they have a bad habit of, you know, acting like they know everything. That was the general manager's reason for not wanting to hire this kid back. So, do you guys see the flaw in logic there that the general manager has? Yeah, people who've worked here before may act like they know everything, because to a certain extent, they do! Like, I heard that, and I was just blown away. I'm just like, how? Like, that is an obvious logic fallacy. Like, I don't know if that's a technical word for it, but, like, that is a serious flaw in logic. Like, yeah, if you hire a person who's worked here before, they may act like they know everything, because to a certain extent, they do. Because that kid had worked there for, like, a whole, like, year. So, yeah, they may act like they know everything, because to a certain extent, they fucking do. Also, we've done that in the past where we've hired people back before who had worked there, left for a period of time, and then come back. We've done that before, so why is it a problem now? Like, how the hell is that a justification? How the motherfucking hell is that a justification for not hiring someone back? Oh, well, I don't want to hire them back because, you know, people who've worked here before act like they know everything. Yeah, no shit, because again, to a certain extent, they do. They do know stuff. They might not know everything, and they may act like it. They may be a little bit arrogant, but to a certain extent, they still have the experience of working there previously, which is a good thing. It is a good thing to hire someone back who knows how things around there work, typically. Even if they are a little bit arrogant. Like, how the hell is that a justification? Like, if she had had another justification, like, oh, this person just doesn't do a good job, or this person never shows up on time, or I just don't like the work that this person does, you know, fine. I would be totally fine with that. But that was your reasoning for not wanting to hire him back was, oh, people who've worked here before act like they know it all, so I don't want to hire this person back. Like, really? Come on! Fucking really? And again, the other thing that I feel like she fails with as a general manager is, again, like, supply chains. Like, we never seem to be ever have, like, all the supplies that we need to do our job at any specific time. And again, that may not rest solely on her shoulders, but she is the one running the show, so she should be partially in charge of that. I just feel like we're always running out of shit, whether it's alcohol or, you know, which doesn't really affect me too much. I'm just a host, so, you know, we don't really do alcohol to go, so, you know, it doesn't really affect me too much, but, like, you know, whether we're running out of alcohol or running out of, you know, food or whatever. I've had times where we've literally, like, run out of barbecue sauce. Like, barbecue sauce, which we use a lot. You know, like, don't you think we'd want to stock up on that a bit? Or I've had times where we've literally run out of ranch, which we use a lot. We use a lot of ranch dressing. It's like, don't you think we should have maybe extra of that? Just laying around just in case, you know? Like, this ain't goddamn rocket science, you know? So I just feel like with the more, like, business and logistical side of running the business, she's just not a good GM. I think she fails in that regard. But again, as far as the day-to-day minutia of actually running the place, you know, like, dealing with customers and shit, I think she does an excellent job. So again, I just wanted to clear that up. And again, it's nothing against her personally. You know, again, I think she's a, you know, great person. I have nothing against her personally, for the most part. Except for when she launched that attack against me, I was a little bit like, what the fuck, you know? Thought that was kind of bullshit. But yeah, I just feel like on the business and logistical side of running the restaurant is where she fails as a general manager. As far as customer service and the day-to-day minutia of running the place, I think she does an excellent job. Probably even better than I would, to be honest. But on the business and logistics side of running the place, I think she does a terrible job. That's just my opinion. So again, I wanted to clear that up. Nothing personal against her, you know? We all have differences of opinions and shit like that, and I respect that. But yeah, I just feel like on the business and logistics side, there's a lot that could be done better. And that's just my opinion. Anyway, that's really all I have to say. Again, I kind of just wanted to clear that up for you guys. Because I feel like I didn't necessarily do a super great job of making my point clear where I stood on that. And I feel like I kind of left you guys with the impression that that general manager is just a total, you know, asshole, idiot, piece of shit, which is not true. Again, I just feel like she could do things a lot better. Alright, nice. Another victory for me. I'm doing pretty good today. But yeah, that's part of the reason, again, why I've just been irritated with how things have been going at my workplace. Because it's like, we need to hire more people. Like, get on that. You know, and don't use stupid reasons for not hiring people. You know, it's just mind-blowing to me sometimes, but... You know, again, to be fair, we all have differences of opinions. Sometimes I just don't understand people, and when I don't understand people, they piss me off. Because that's just the kind of person I am. The things that piss me off the most, and this may be true for other people as well, but this has been my own personal experience, is that the things that piss me off the most are the things that I do not understand. And I just do not understand why this GM doesn't get her shit together and hire people. It's literally as easy as putting a sign on the door that says, hey, we're hiring people. Which during a pandemic, when there's a lot of people out of work, you know, just fucking saying, I'm pretty sure someone is looking for just any kind of job at all. You know? Something. So, pretty sure you'd find people to take the job. You know, just saying. But then again, what the hell do I know, right? I'm just some stupid kid who sits around playing video games all day. What the hell do I know about anything, right? Alright, anyway. That'll do it for that one. So guys, stay tuned, and until next time, peace out.